Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Eso, this is EsoTarot, and in today's actual pick a card reading or pick a heart reading, we are going to be doing a love connection check-in. Well, I guess it could be any connection, but I am focusing on love connections, so if yours is not a love connection, you are going to have to filter accordingly. But we are going to be looking at the connection between you and the person you are asking about, and we are essentially going to just be doing a deep dive into where you're at, where they're at, and what the connecting energies between the two of you are. So if the reading is not hitting, it is not yours. If the energies are flip-flop, that's absolutely okay. But my intention is for you to be on the left and for your person to be on the right, and for the center cards to represent mutual feelings, connecting energies, things like that. And then once we've gone deep there, you guys, those that know why I did that, is because I'm immature. But then we're gonna finish off with guidance for you, for them, and for the both of you together. So hopefully we can get a comprehensive picture of like what's on your end, what's on their end, and what's maybe more up to either of you or up to both of you. And then if you're really enjoying yourself and want a little bit more of ESO, we are going to be doing an extended, which will be linked down below and on Vimeo. And I'm really excited to do this because I don't do this very often, but I'm gonna be channeling in first person. Well, I'm gonna do both first and third person, but like we're gonna start with first person, and I'm basically gonna be channeling from your person's perspective. That also gives me the opportunity to go in there and be like, and observe what I see as well. So we're gonna be channeling your person's truest and unspoken thoughts, feelings, desires, energies towards you, whatever truths on their soul they're ready to bear. We're going in and seeing what they want to share with you, what maybe they don't have the courage to share with you, what truths. We're going to be looking at all of it. And then we're going to get actual channeled message cards to further clarify what we've already looked at and then go deeper. And also for confirmation, because that's fun. And then we're going to finish off by looking at their next move towards you, or the next action they're going to take. So if you are interested in that, that will be linked down below. And I do also want to stress that I try to make my extendeds as affordable as possible, and my extendeds are literally cheaper than like most fast food these days. So McDonald's doesn't have anything on me besides corporate leverage to make well, we don't need to go into that. We got 3 different groups for you to choose from today. So starting with group number 1, we have this first oracle card with like burgundy brown vibes and red vibes. It kind of reminds me of that festival that I believe is in Trinidad, but I could be wrong. Or is it Barbados? Or maybe they both have festivals where like the women get dressed up really beautifully and like they wear these big fancy headdresses and they're all glittery and sexy and gorgeous. It's making me think of that. And we have this Carnelian heart on top. And then for group number 2, we've got the blue vibes going on. I don't know why I just heard like this is Sparta from the movie 300. I don't know if that has any significance to anyone, but if so, maybe group 2 is for you. But we also have this Amazonite heart on top. And then for group number 3, we have this green looking guy with these pretty white roses and this serpentine, I never say that stuff right, heart on top. Good thing you'll correct me though. So go ahead and pause the video if you need to decide which pile you feel most drawn to. Like I said, it's absolutely okay to be drawn to more than one. It's quite possible that maybe positions could be flip-flopped, or you could be asking about more than one person, or maybe the first group you pick doesn't resonate. I do want to stress you guys, like even if you're not necessarily drawn to a group, but the group you pick doesn't resonate, you can just go ahead and click on the other readings and look at the energy check part, and that should kind of help you. Like, you see, because if you find you, there's probably a message for you there. So like, you don't have to look at it like, oh, if I don't pick right the first time, then there's no message for me. That's just I understand the logic, because like I used to think the same way, but like it's really more like the message is for you if it hits. If it doesn't, then it's not. But anyway, I'm going to now pull an extra card for each group to help you guys pick if you need assistance picking. I know the groups are very beautiful, the illustrations are very amazing, and the crystals are very pretty, so I get it could be very hard. So I'm going to use the Musical Messages Oracle from our queen, the Hermit Tarot, and pull a card for each group and see if this group is meant for you, what signs, symbols, syncs might be significant. If you're still drawn to a group, but you don't have, but you don't necessarily resonate with the card, feel free to pick it anyway. Yeah, this is just for those who need it. But for my group ones, for those that would benefit from seeing group one, what signs, symbols, songs, syncs, colors are significant for my people that are meant to pick group one? That's so crazy because I was thinking of blue. So we have King of Everything by Dominic Fike. Heading downstream till the levee gives in and my dreams are wearing thin. Look at me, I just can't believe what they've done to me. I just want to be free. And the theme is hero. You know, and I was hearing that song too, like the it's the corniest song. I mean, it's sweet, but it's corny. It's like the I can be your hero, baby. I can kiss away the pain, whatever that one is. What every middle school couple slow dances to while all the other middle schoolers scream around them. Does anyone else remember that? Like being in middle school. So maybe middle school could be significant. Or like middle school dances. I don't know, maybe someone's a teacher or like works with adolescents. Or maybe there's like themes of like hero complexes or victim complexes could be significant. This color blue, a cloudless sky, aquamarine, like the stone or the mermaid, also like drums, specifically like are they bongos? Bongo drums? Is there a band called the Ramones or something like that? Because that's coming through too. So that's for group one. Okay, what about group two? For those that would benefit from seeing group two or that are meant to see group two, what song, symbols, signs, messages, energies will help group two know that this is the message for them? So we have close your eyes and see it through. Chaos comes and collects the youth. I can feel the cold air when the night comes. Heaven's only wishful. So this is Heaven's Only Wishful by Mormor. And the feeling is grief. So, you know, if you are going through some sort of grieving process, or this person is, or you guys are, this could be for you. If there's grief around this situation, I also just want to say I'm so sorry for any grief that you are dealing with. And I'm sending you a big hug. There could be a lot of chaos at this time, or maybe like you're in a very like Pluto, like Uranus or Pluto could be significant planets. Like there could be a lot of chaos around you, or a lot of intense upheaval and transformation. Pomegranates, Hades and Persephone kind of vibes, Demeter as well. Grills, like grilling. Ew, I'm hearing Mark Zuckerberg in my head going, smoking meats. If you've never seen him on that stream going, yeah, I'm smoking meats, it's like he's literally like in his human meat suit, and he like, I don't know, must be really proud of himself. It's probably like the first time he's used his hands by himself to do anything. I'm just being a bitch now. maybe if you've been a bitch recently. But it's like, honestly, but not in an unjustified way, you know what I mean? Like just in a shady way. Also just shade, like not the not metaphorically, but like literally, like the shade that is cast, you know, by a sun creating a shadow. Also, Lord of the Rings, like Mordor is making me think of Mordor. It could be raining where you are, or be really rainy and gloomy. It's pretty gloomy here, so I apologize for the lighting, but I can't tell the clouds and sun what to do. And also, I'm not complaining because I actually like cloudy days. Liking something that is typically something that humans don't like could be significant for group 2. So like me, for example, I like cloudy and rainy days, even though like most people don't like that. So you could have something that you really like that like most people, you could have an unpopular preference. Any unpopular preferences? Also just Navy. Also the store Old Navy. Love Old Navy. Shout out to Old Navy. If Old Navy sponsored me, I would go for that. Love me a good deal. Brazil could be significant. The Amazon rainforest could be significant. Yeah, that's for my group 2s. Also, the song TT by Twice could be significant, or just Twice, the group, could be significant. Group 3, what song, signs, symbols are meant for those who pick group 3, or could help those figure out if group 3 is meant for them? We have Sage. Life is all about you and not all about you. How can you experience everything you choose to do while observing the experience you're having from a higher view? Good Life by Zhu. And the feeling is Sage. So I love the progression here. It's very, very satisfying. The name Sage could be significant. There's a lot of like leaf imagery, so like plants in general could be specific. The name Ivy, like plant names, Ivy, Sage, Willow, Ash. I'm trying to think of more like guy nature names. Toadstool, Mushroom. I mean, obviously those are not real names, but it'd be funny if someone's name was Toadstool. I mean, Toad from like Mario. There could be a lot of like spiritual expansion happening right now, or this could be like a very spiritual connection. This connection could just be expanding your mind, or you could be at like a very peaceful place, even if you're very confused. Like you might just feel like, I just accept where things are at, or like you're starting to see a higher purpose. Also those t-shirts, oh gosh, what like they're iconic. They're like iconic t-shirts with like a happy guy on them. I feel like it's called like Good Life or something like that. Like they usually just have like, I think it's like Life is Great or Life is Good or something, and like it's usually just a happy stick figure doing something. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Some of you will, some of you won't. I honestly, RIP to my international friends, because not only are you guys having to deal with my insane pop culture references, but you're having to deal with my insane pop culture references a lot of times in a language that isn't your native one, which is crazy and impressive, and I applaud you. Gold stars, like literal gold stars, and then also the term could be significant. Also, someone could have been like sick recently. And also if you've just been in like a deeply reflective place, group 3 could be for you. But that is all I have for you guys in terms of helping you pick piles. If you're still struggling, I would say just watch the video and trust your own guidance there. But Intro Squad, it's our time. It's our time. And so I really want to know, what's your hyperfixation right now? Or what is something that you're just really enjoying or really into right now, and why? It could be anything. It could be something you're consuming. It could be something you're making. It could be something you're planning. What are you excited about? What are you really enjoying? What's been a nice escape? What is it? Let me know. I'll tell you mine. I don't know why, but every so often, I just cannot stop watching Deadliest Catch. Like, I used to watch it when I was a kid, and like it just kind of blew my mind back then, and it was just so like different. Like I didn't even fully understand it. Like, it just didn't seem real. And now as an adult, it's just like insanely fascinating to me. Number one, because I just like find ships and boats to be really interesting, and I love the ocean, and like the visuals on it, like that where they wear these bright jackets, and then it's like very like the ocean, you know, is like, it's like moving, and the boat is moving, and it's like, it's visually pleasing, and I like seeing the pot come up with all the crabs. I'm so like, the internet does not have enough information for me about crabs, crab behavior, crab population. I'm so curious about all of it. I'm like, what are they doing down there? Like how do they get in the pot? I mean, I know they bait them, but like, how do they get them in the pots? And like, also like, how do the tanks work that like hold them? And like, I don't know. I've been Googling all this stuff, but you know, when you just like need more information than the internet can provide, like, my younger self would have thrived with the modern internet, like, because there's so much information about like the Titanic and stuff. Like, I think that's like most people's, like, this is a very common like interest that I think a lot of people have. But like, you know, just that desire to know more and more and more about something, like, that for me right now is just crab fishing. Like, I just also like, we haven't even talked about the social dynamics on a ship, and like the superstitions that come with it, because there's just so little control over like what you can, like, over the elements. Like, I just think like it's really interesting how, like, you know, where the captain is mentally and emotionally, how that affects like the, you know, just being in close quarters with a bunch of people and doing this like grueling, rigorous physical labor. Like, it's just very fascinating to me, and also very comforting to me, because I'm not the one doing it. And like, it's low-key kind of fun to be like cuddled up with my blanket. It's like watching people do like awful manual labor in the middle of a winter storm on the Bering Sea. I'm just like, I'm so glad that's not me. It's kind of like it really is reality TV, like feeling better about my life in the best sense. Not that I feel bad about it, but it's just like, anytime things are tough, I'm like, I'm just so glad I'm not like crab fishing on the Bering Sea. So yeah, that's kind of what's been occupying a lot of my thoughts. Let me know what you guys have been into, what you've been thinking about, and if you have any answers to any of the things that I just discussed, definitely let me know, especially like specifics on crustacean behavior and or the mechanics of how those ships work, because I just find both of those things really fascinating, and sometimes I wish I was good at science, because I probably would have gone into astronomy or been like an engineer, and I probably would have, like, if I probably would have wanted to be an engineer, and I would either want to build planes or cargo ships, but I think I would probably choose cargo ships because I like water and boats. Planes are cool too though. I know you were curious. So yeah, I guess also too, what's your favorite industrial creation? I think I will have to say the cargo ship. At least in terms of like industrial creation related to transportation of goods or people. That's my answer. Okay, intro squad. Glad we had that kiki. I'm gonna go. It's time to do your reading. I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here. Leave me a little heart. It can be any color you want to let me know you got this far. Actually, a heart and a sun, because we all leave hearts all the time. So leave them together. But yeah, I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here, and I will see you in your reading. Hi there, Pile 1. Welcome to your reading. Thank you so much for being here. If you guys chose this first oracle card in the Carnelian heart, Sacred Guardian, this is going to be your reading on you versus them, the person you're asking about, what is going on in this connection. So I'm not going to be this close to the mic the whole time, I promise. I just am going to be while I lay down your cards. So you are going to be over here on the left. Your person is going to be over here on the right, or the person you're asking about. The connecting energies will be in the middle. Full breakdown of the reading in the intro. Ideally, the you part resonates. If both sides resonate, that's indicative of mirroring, and you can take that as a sign that you're on both sides and just kind of do what works for you. If it doesn't resonate, obviously it's not for you, but it's okay if the circumstances are flip-flop, but I try to find you in the you spot. So to start with you, we have the Emperor, we have the Peacock, which is the Empress, we have Playful, and we have Don't Let Someone Come Between Us. And then for your person, or the person you're asking about, energy in this connection, we have the Ace of Pentacles, we have the Queen of Swords, we have Authentic, and two of these cards came out. We have You Are Changing Me, and We Can Grow Faster Together. Just want to make sure this all gets in the frame. Okay. Move these aside. And then for the connecting energies between the two of you, we have Sacred Guardian. We have the Seven of Wands. We have Reflections. And we have Carry Me Home. Support, time to be carried. Allow others to help. Okay. But don't let me play with this for 2 seconds. Otherwise, I'm gonna go nuts. Okay. Meh. It's not gonna be perfect, but it's good enough. All right, I really do like to see this. This has a lot of green flags on it for me personally. Despite, like, obviously your humanity being a factor here, this definitely reads to me like two people who are genuinely invested in one another, despite the fears and hesitations and concerns both of them may have. And there's a desire and a willingness to stretch and be flexible, maybe literally, but figuratively, in order to make things work. Let's start with you and your energy, because you're coming in pretty hot with some, literally and metaphorically, because you are coming through as both the Emperor and the Empress. So you're not just mommy, you're daddy. You're not just daddy, you're mommy. Like, and I mean, that could be, you could be a parent, but I feel like this is more so about the fact that, at least within your life, not only are you in a divinely androgynous energy, that's not to say that you're an androgynous person, but that's to say that you have a very healthy balance of both feminine and masculine energy within you. You could just call that yin and yang energy. You are definitely in your own power in this situation, and you are also not allowing this situation to take away from nurturing yourself, to take away from your needs. If anything, it seems like you have most of the power here, whether you realize it or not. It definitely seems like, compared to the person you're asking about, you are more advanced than them, whether it is maturity-wise, stability-wise, age-wise, because age and maturity aren't necessarily the same thing. You're definitely in a place where, if you're not in a partnership already, you are ready to be in one. You're very serious about what you're looking for, and you're also in a very healthy position in terms of life in general, but also a healthy position in terms of like you could take or leave something, because no matter what, you're gonna be okay. Like, it might be sad, it might be hard, but if something doesn't work out or if something isn't worth it, like, you're gonna be good, because you've not only got your own back, but it seems like you're in a really stable position where you're able to enjoy the finer things in life, you're able to attract what you need, and you're also able to use your own agency to create positive and powerful change. And I just love to see that. Congratulations, group one. Can I just say, like, this is really fantastic. And I do feel especially called to say, like, if you're not already thinking, like, you deserve the best and to settle for, and to, like, you deserve the best and settle for nothing less. So as to say you should not settle. I'm not saying this person is settling, but what I am saying is that you know and see your worth and know that you have the power to have a situation where, let's just say you're in high demand and you have the power to attract a lot of different opportunities in your love life if you want that. But also it just seems like you're in an energy of partnership where you want, if you're not in a partnership with this person already, I feel like that is who you are focused on. And I think that there's also awareness that maybe you are able to provide more or able to devote more time and energy to the relationship. And I don't see that being something that upsets you. I actually think you probably like the control that allows you, and you like the ability to be a support system for this person. But I also see a desire for you to keep things light, and also an insecurity within you around, what if I'm not enough for this person? Which is really, really, really funny. Like, no offense, it is really funny, because it's like it would be like me saying, like, what if I can't read tarot? Like you'd be like, what? Like, I mean, I think this would be an inconvenient time to find out. I mean, I think you're fine. You're fine. But I definitely see there's like a bit of a projection fest going on here between the two of you, because I see you definitely being insecure about, am I enough? And also like even Britney Spears would not sing Give Me More around you, because she'd be like, you're enough. Like, you are enough. And I see you trying to conceal these insecurities by keeping things very light, keeping things playful, fun, and sensual. But also there's some armor here. And I actually also want to applaud that, because I feel like you are navigating the challenging place where you're wanting to deepen intimacy with another person, but without throwing away your boundaries or ignoring your boundaries. Like, there's definitely a healthy level of self-protection here, and also a level of, I know what I'm doing, I know what I'm choosing, I know what I want. I fear that maybe they don't, like, that the person you're asking about doesn't want the same thing. Spoiler alert, they do. But I definitely think on your end, there's kind of a, like, you might feel like you have to almost make yourself a bit smaller, not because you feel like you're making this person feel insecure, but because you're like, I don't want to come in too strong or too heavy, or I don't want to be too controlling, or I don't want to, it's almost like you don't want to dominate the situation, or get to a place where, like, the nature of the connection is so imbalanced that there's no room for this other person, or like this other person, like, okay, I don't even know how to finish that sentence. I don't even feel like it makes sense. And I think the reason why that is because I feel like you have, like, it's almost like you're policing your behavior in ways that don't really make sense, because you're trying to compensate for a fear that's out of your control, which is like, what if I'm too much? What if I'm not enough? What if I'm like, it's almost like you're trying to hold yourself back a little bit and not be too much, or not be too forward, or not be it's almost like you're trying to make yourself smaller and more palatable out of fear that you might be too much, or like you might be too intense, or like the advancements that you have might be too intimidating. But then at the same time, it's like you don't want to make yourself so small that you might be forgettable, or that you might not seem interested, or that you don't look as great as other options in comparison, which, yeah, you're definitely focused a little bit too much on what you can't control, because there is so much within your control. I feel like your threat radar is really on like, what could sabotage this, what could ruin this. And I feel like because you're so focused on like doing what you can to like create positive change here and create the outcome that you want, that I feel like you almost are maybe putting a little bit too much pressure on yourself. Like, I need to take every step in the exact, like, I feel like there's maybe like, okay, you're doing amazing, sweetie, you're doing amazing, but you're definitely overthinking your impact, and it might be making it harder for you to just connect purely. And so I do think there's something that's highlighting that here, where I feel like you are aware of the fact that you can be amazing, you can have all these things going for you, and not only can that be something that actually inhibits connection, it can also be something that it can be something that I don't even know how I was gonna finish that sentence. So I don't know. I definitely feel like you don't have a lot of trust in your own authority and a lot of trust in your own choices. I feel like you are very serious about this person, very serious about this connection, and very serious about what you want to build. And I think that you really care about what happens here. And I think that you also are very concerned about being enough for this person, being the right one for this person, being who they choose, which is not very Emperor, Empress energy, but it is in the sense that this energy is clearly here to help you see that you are like so much. Like, it's not even that you're enough, like you are so much, and like that's not a bad thing, that's a wonderful thing. And also, you don't have to hide those things, because if it's true, if it's authentic, it's going to be appreciated. So I feel like you're in a place where the seriousness of the connection, you're trying not to play it up too much. And I feel like you're also trying not to acknowledge, like, I feel like you even maybe some of what I'm verbalizing, it might like hit a little close to home, because maybe you haven't really consciously connected to the fact that those feelings are there, which just goes to show how in control and level-headed you really are in this situation. And so you really do need to give yourself a lot of credit. But it's okay to like be human and be like, oh, like, what if I'm not enough, or what if things don't work out? And I think that there's something here too. This peacock card, it is the Empress in this deck, and one of the things that the guidebook talks about specifically with this card is a union of two unlikely things. And so I do think there is a part of you that maybe knows like you're in a much better position than this person, or maybe knows that this person isn't able to bring, at least right now, as much to the connection as you are. And there might even be like a little bit of like insecurity or uncertainty, like, you know, do I look stupid for doing that? Or, you know, am I doing the right thing by investing in this? Or like, I definitely feel like there is a part of you that I feel like you're all in, but like the fears in the back of your head are like, yeah, but is this possible? I feel like also maybe a lack of confidence with the people around you, depending on how much they know about your situation and how involved they are. That could also be something that's impacting you. And so one thing that I will say is you might be worried about someone, a person in your person's world coming in between the two of you. But realistically, I think the biggest thing coming in between you and this person, at least on your end, are other people's opinions that, like, respectfully don't know anything about this, about you, about this connection, about this person, about what you need. You definitely are the ultimate authority on this connection, and you can trust your judgment. It is sound. But I definitely see you overcompensating for your fears by trying to keep things extra light, extra playful. And there's definitely a mixture of like emotional exuberance. It's like very beautiful, sweet, light, joyful, fun. And also maybe a little bit of ego behind it. Like, I don't want this person to know maybe how invested I am or how much like I'm really seeing a future with them. So let's talk about your person, because as we've already said, and as we can see, like, they are definitely not in the same position that you are in. Like, you definitely seem to have more security, more stability, more resources, more time, more energy. And even if this person has all those things, it seems like you either have more or you're just in a position of prominence above them, whether it's like literal or it's just based in where you both are at in life. This person adores you. I have to be honest. Like, they are invested in you. And I don't know how much of this they've said, but I definitely think that there is, you're not wrong for picking up like hesitancy from your person, but that hesitance has nothing to do with being unsure about you. They know how they feel about you. Like, you are changing me and we can grow faster together. Like, this person sees that not only are you a good influence on them, but that you guys seem to work really well together, that that being together and that connecting and that like your relationship, it seems like it's something that they not only see as promising, but they see that they can be an honest person in it. Like, I love that this authentic card looks exactly the same as this pentacle, two completely different decks. Like, oh my gosh, like, there's nothing I love more than colorful synchronicity. Like, these look like they will, like, it just makes me happy. And I think it makes them really happy to see like how well you work together. And I think you guys see a lot of the other in each other. Like, I think you see yourselves in each other. And for this person, I think that they are, despite the fact that they are not where you're at in life, I feel that they see themselves as having a much better, I see them seeing that there's a lot of potential for the two of you to build something together. And I think that where you are is where your person wants to be. I would say, especially in terms of like maturity and stability, and also just time, energy, and like resources to give to a connection. I think that on this person's part, saying yes to this connection requires a huge ego sacrifice. And that ego sacrifice is to allow themselves to be supported and to also accept that they may not have as much power in the relationship at this time as maybe they would like. Like, the balance of power might be a little bit off. And I think maybe that's something that you kind of clocked, but I think that you're also acknowledging in a very healthy way that like you don't want to keep that imbalance of power, and also like you want to use that power responsibly. And I think you also recognize that this person's empowerment is like, they are a powerful person. Like, this person that you're asking about, they are definitely a powerful person, but I think when it comes to relationships, they have less real world experience in them. Like, and that's not to say that they haven't dated a lot of people and done things like that. Like, this could be someone that's had like you know, a very active like dating life or relationship life, but I feel like whoever they dated or whatever those relationships were, there wasn't this level of stability, maturity, and seriousness that they feel here. And I think that another big thing about this is that they feel more like themselves when they're with you. And like the fact that we have authentic with that Ace of Pentacles, I feel like they see that this connection feels right, and that this connection also feels like a vehicle to the future they're already trying to build. And they see you as a very solid partner to build with, and someone that they feel like steady and safe around. I think that you have definitely been a positive influence on them. And I also think that they see that teamwork makes the dream work with you. Like they feel like you guys work really well as a team. And I think that they get kind of, you're inspiring them a lot in terms of what they want to build for their future. If you've confirmation that this is your reading and this is your person, if this person has gotten into like saving and investing recently, or has gone on a health kick, or is just doing anything in their life, like maybe they're being sober, or they're redecorating their apartment or decluttering, like anything that shows positive movement in the third dimension around like creating a more balanced lifestyle. I think that you are a huge inspiration for them to want to do this. I feel like they're looking at their future in much more stable terms, but I think there's also awareness within them that it's going to take time for them to be on your level, or just at a place where they feel like, you know, I definitely think that they want to make the dreams that they see of the future with you a reality. And I think that they are at a place where they're accepting that that is going to have to require them to surrender their ego a little bit, and allow you to take the reins some while they catch up. That's why when it comes to the energy of your connection, this carry me home is so strong here. Like, I think that this person wants to be who you need, and they know that they need time to get there. But I feel like there's this mutual understanding between the two of you that, okay, why don't we do this together? And see, this is what I love to see, because it's a lot more common that in readings like this, the other person is too prideful or too insecure to engage in the connection no matter what feelings are there, because they just don't feel good enough in themselves. But I feel like this person recognizes and acknowledges, like, first of all, you seeing the value in them despite the fact that they may not have as much as you, or may not be in the same spot as you, is showing them a lot about what real love is, and about what like true connection looks like and feels like. And the fact that we have Sacred Guardian and the Seven of Wands, that tells me that both of you are protective of this connection and of the relationship that you guys share. I feel like you guys, there's a level of safety and security that I think you guys feel together. And also, I think that you guys serve as mirrors. So I think that some of the insecurity you feel about not being chosen is mirrored in this person. I think they feel similar insecurities of, I'm not enough, like, what if there's someone else? What if, or like, you know, what if someone else comes along? But I would argue that this person's fears are a lot more like understandable, because literally, like, they are seeing clearly that they are not, if you're just looking at things on paper, you know, and disregarding connection and, you know, those other important aspects. If you're looking at things through an egoic on paper lens, like, yes, there are a lot of other people in this world that could be a better prospect or a better, you know, match in terms of they could give you more. But I think what this person is realizing is like they would rather give this situation their all than not try and give up something that means a lot to them just because like they're not going to let their insecurities get in the way. And I think that's really important. Like, I think that for both of you, there are like aspects of this connection that can be really confronting and uncomfortable, because I think that you're coming up against some of your deepest fears, but also you guys are coming up against opportunities to see what you both are really made of and what you can do when you choose to do it together. I feel like your person is realizing that letting love in and letting this connection in not only feels really good, but it makes their future feel more solid, and it makes them feel more solid in themselves. I feel like they feel really excited about what's to come, and I think that they also are deep in fantasy about what the future brings, who they want to be, what they could hold. 2 songs, Positions by Ariana Grande, and Country Roads Take Me Home by John Denver. I think that there's definitely a willingness for both of you to step into roles that maybe are new or uncomfortable for you, for the sake of the connection and what you share. Because I think there's also a mutual understanding of where we're at is temporary, but where we're at now is also prime time to start planting seeds and see where things go. If you guys are already in a relationship, like, I definitely think that this is just cemented further, where this person is realizing that, number one, I think your person didn't realize how much they needed to be held by another. And I think that your ability to just hold space for this person without dominating them or without like making them feel small in any way has just shown them that they can be kind of the underdog in a situation, and that could actually be a motivating factor in why they want to pursue something rather than holding back from, because they would feel more comfortable in a situation where they seem like they're the one on top. And I think the big thing here is that neither of you wants to be on top of the other unless it's consensual and something you're into. You guys want an equal and balanced relationship. And I think that for both of you, the challenge here is, can you handle the discomfort that comes with all the goodness that's offered here? Because I think the discomfort is the fear, you know, what might happen here, or how are things going to unfold, or there's definitely uncertainty. But I think both of you are mature enough and also like well-rounded enough and just in healthy enough positions that you can handle challenges as they come and make things work. I think you both, like I said, feel protective of this connection and defensive of it. And I think that neither of you are going to give up on this connection easily. Like, the Ace of Pentacles is real investment. So I feel like while it might take time for things to stabilize and for your person to kind of be on equal footing with you, at least in terms of material areas of life, or just like maturity areas, wherever it is, wherever they're at, like, they're getting there. And trust me, it's assured, but it might be maybe like slower than what either of you are hoping for. But the Ace of Pentacles is a sure thing. And I think that when it comes to this person as well, like, they are in a huge process of growing and becoming right now. And you are as well. But it's less about, for you, I think, personal development, and more about seeing yourself in the mirror more clearly, because what you've already become is so wonderful. And I think you kind of lose sight of that sometimes because it might be clouded by your own self-criticism or your own fears or insecurities. And I think you just really need to, like, honestly, you really do need to look in the mirror and just go, wow, like, I can't believe I've carried myself all the way here. I can't believe I've become who I've become. Like, if your child self could see the you now, like, they would be in awe. And I think that you really just need to give yourself more credit that, like, if this person were dumb enough to throw this situation away for someone else, they're not, but if they were, you would be fine. Like, I promise you, you'd be fine. Like, you are in such a good position here. It's like, this person is playing Uno. Like, if you guys are playing Uno, they have, like, almost the whole deck, and you have, like, 2 cards. And they're both cards you can play. Like, I'm just telling you, like, you have the upper hand in this position, and in this situation, and in this relationship. And what's really unique about this person that I love to see is that rather than seeing the upper hand as something that they're not okay with or too prideful to accept, they're realizing that actually maybe they've needed to lean on someone a little bit, and that actually that safe space is making it easier for them to grow in their own life. And it's almost like your energy and your support is fertilizer for the seeds they're planting on their own, and the growth that they're already trying to cultivate. Like, I could definitely see this as someone who does not want to ride your coattails or, like, be dependent on you anyway, in any way, but who is recognizing and acknowledging that support can certainly make one's own journey a lot easier. And I think that you guys think about each other all the time, and I think that there's also just, like, a deep and mutual love for, like, being held by one another, or just doing, like even if for some of you guys this might be a long distance situation, so you might not get to be in person as much as you'd like to be, but I feel like even then, like, if you guys spend time video chatting and, like, just leaving the camera on, even if you're not talking, like, there's these moments of intimacy and connection where you allow the other to just like you guys just, that energy together is, it's just very, like, it just feels like a sanctuary. And I think that you guys recognize the value of that, and are both mutually committed to seeing where things go and building from there. And the fact that we have Sacred Guardian here, that also tells me as well, like, there's also, like, spiritual protection around your guys' connection. I think that also, like, I think that there's just a lot of beautiful light energy around the two of you. And I think that every tool at that could be at both of your disposals to create the best outcomes possible, I feel like they're there. And I feel like your guides are really really protective of this situation, and just are going to continue working to create the best for both of you, because you guys are already doing that for yourselves. So they're just doing what they can in the background to, like, support that and make sure no unnecessary roadblocks get in the way. But I definitely think you've expanded this person's idea of what's possible, and they're very, very grateful for that. And I feel like they see a bright future with you. I feel like, if anything, they just recognize that they have big shoes to fill, and they're gonna fill them, but they're grateful that you're willing to be patient with them while they make that process happen. So we're gonna go ahead and move into guidance now. And I do just want to say, we are going to be doing an extended where I'm going to channel in first person and third person, and we're going to look at the truths in your person's heart for you. We're going to look at, like, their desires, their thoughts, their feelings, and it's just going to be kind of like an info dump of, like, everything in their inner world when it comes to you that I can see. And then we're going to use channel message cards to kind of go deeper and confirm, and then we're going to finish off with what their next move is towards you. So if you're interested in that, that'll be linked down below. But if not, I'm just grateful you're here, and super grateful if you want to leave me a little, like, ski or subscribe, or, you know, just let the ads play while you do something else. That's all really great. So thank you for being here. So I'm going to get guidance for you, guidance for your person, and guidance for the both of you. And I'm going to start with this deck. So for group number 1, what guidance do you have for group 1 when it comes to this connection and this situation, please. We have the Six of Cups. Children or childhood, the return of people or romances from your past, remembering events differently and a better or worse light than how they really occurred. So with the Six of Cups here, I feel like there's an encouragement to really just reconnect to the younger version of you that knew you were the shit. Because I know that there is a younger version of you that did not question their value and that knew that they were awesome. And I think that you're ready to reconnect to that part of yourself. I feel like it'll be really helpful in this situation. But also too, when you are struggling or when you are maybe overwhelmed with like what ifs that you can't control, I actually do think like you're already doing a really great job at mitigating that effect with this playful card here, because the Six of Cups is kind of a playful energy. And I feel like when in doubt, lean into that playfulness. And not even necessarily towards this person. Like if you could just maybe add more playfulness to your everyday life, I think that would do you a little bit of good, just because like I feel like you are building so much and doing so much and you've already done so much. Like I feel like you might be a little more serious with yourself than you necessarily need to be. I think you could give yourself more of a break than you realize. And I think you could be a little bit gentler with yourself. And on top of that as well, I would say with this person, like when in doubt, like connect to your heart in this situation, because I think what you'll find is that when there's miscommunications or when there's like ego clashes, more often than not, it's going to be about yourselves and not about like a true issue between the two of you. Yeah. Okay. Also, there might be a message here as well that like you and this person could be working through like past life stuff. Like this person could have a past life connection to you, and it could be possible that if you have a past with this person, like you guys have been working through a lot of intense energies. But I do feel like it's meant to get lighter. But let's see what guidance there is for your person. We have the Three of Pentacles. Follow your passion when it comes to your career. Be the best at what you do, being compensated for your creative talents. So I feel like this is an encouragement for your person to keep putting themselves out there, keep being open to collaboration, and also keep taking opportunities to shine at work. So I feel like, well, first of all, your person should have good taste, so maybe they might want to watch this. Or if they're not gonna see this, you might be able to kind of help facilitate guidance in terms of like just being encouraging when they're like, hey, I have this work opportunity, or what do you think of this presentation? Like I think that this person could really benefit from being seen and being more collaborative in their career. But also too, I think they're already doing a great job. I feel like if they're not already, they'll start to. I feel like they're doing a great job of being realistic about what they're able to do and what's possible for them in the moment. Like with the Queen of Swords here, I do like to see that with the Ace of Pentacles, just because like this Dreamer card could be a red flag if there was no grounding energies around it, but we have like multiple grounding energies here. So I feel like the guidance for your person is to continue opening up support, continue being willing to collaborate, like keep working with the energy, and also don't be afraid to be honest about where you're at, especially if like you're not at or able to reach a certain threshold or be at a certain place, because there's definitely going to be resources and support that will meet your person where they're at. I also think any opportunities for them to share what they create will pay off really well. And I also think that the guidance here is really just keep making moves in the third dimension, because they're paying off, and they will help your person build. So now I want to see what the guidance is for both of you. So for group 1 and their person, what guidance do you have for them when it comes to this connection, please? Oh, we have the Queen of Pentacles. So be practical with respect to how you proceed, the ability to make anything more beautiful, meeting someone who can help your dreams come true. Like that, it really is what you guys are together. But I would also say, on your end, be careful getting to a place where you're like parenting this person. I think you're good about not doing that, but you might not even realize how like you might just start to want to do things for this person that they didn't ask you to do, or that like it might make them feel a little like babied, and that might create some resistance on their end. And I don't even think it would be intentional on your part. So just like maybe pay attention and be aware to like when giving maybe seems like too much, or maybe is like tipping the balance from a mutual relationship to like maybe a more codependent or dysfunctional one. I don't think you guys will do that, but I think you could see how that might happen, and I think you guys will stop it in its tracks before it could. But I think there's also just guidance here to, number one, take advantage of the nurturing respite that you guys create together. Continue to have like practical expectations of this situation, because one thing I will say is like, if this situation can't ground, or like this person won't ground it, or like won't do anything to move things forward, I think that you have every right and reason to kind of like choose whatever you want to do or whatever works best for you. But I feel like there's like the guidance here really is just assume the best intent of the other, because I think that more often than not that's what's there. But also like it's okay for things to not be where you guys want them to be, and still also like protect and nurture and hold what already exists. But I feel like there's just a lot of like encouragement here to keep doing what you're doing, and also maybe savor and relax into the energies that exist here a little bit more. So group number 1, that is where I'm going to leave your reading. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you so much for letting my ads play in the background while you do something else. That is one of the simplest and easiest ways. I don't expect you to watch them, I'm not a monster, but that's one of the simplest and easiest ways to support me and show appreciation for my channel. Or you can get YouTube Premium, and then you can watch me ad-free all the time, which is awesome. You can check out the extended. Like I said, I'm going to be channeling from your person's perspective, and we're going to be looking at their feelings, their thoughts, their desires, what's in their heart for you, and yeah, doing all that. So that'll be linked down below. Other ways to support are linked down below. Thank you guys so much for watching and for being here and for letting me read for you. I love you guys so much. I hope this reading resonated. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this video, and I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye. Hi there, Pile 2. Welcome to your reading, and thank you so much for being here. If you guys chose this Amazonite heart and this Mystic card, this is going to be your reading on what's going on in the connection between you and the person you're asking about. Full breakdown of the reading in the intro. I won't be this close to the mic for this long, I promise, just while I'm laying down the cards. So we're going to start with the you section of this reading. So to start with your energies, we have the 4 of Swords, okay? Unicorn vibes. We have kin. We have the 10 of Swords. And we have just ask me. The answer might not be what you expect. Okay, Now, these cards are going to represent the person you are asking about. If you've been seeing 111 a lot, take that note, because I just saw that on the camera, and I don't normally see the numbers, so, or notice them. So anyway, for the person you're asking about, we have the 7 of Pentacles. We have the Mystic again. We have, I'm concocting a plan to make you mine. And we have open. I'm hearing, oh my gosh, this is like honestly impressive. I don't know how this got dug out of the recesses of my psyche, but I'm hearing Grenade by Bruno Mars. Okay, these are going to be the cards that represent the connecting energies between the two of you. So we already saw we have Mystic. We have the Balancing Act in reverse. We have the 6 of Wands. And we have Secret Doorway, working with intuition, second sight opening, dimensional doorways. Ugh, I love when things just... It ain't perfect, but it's mildly symmetrical. That works for me. Okay. So, I really wish, I don't care who you are and whether you have hair or not. I want to like put you in my lap. Like I want you to lay your head in my lap and I want to like either stroke your head or like play with your hair or just do something very comforting in that way, because I do just have to say, like, you did whatever you did here, you did a good job. And I know it wasn't easy. I know it was very hard, actually. Man, doesn't it suck doing what's best for you sometimes? It's better than the alternative, though. And so I say all that to say, just number one, I just feel a lot of like affection towards you. Like I just want to comfort you and nurture you. You deserve that. Know that. And what I can see from your energy here is I can see that you've kind of either put the connection down, believe it is done entirely, and you are healing from it, or you are like, I need a break, I need space. I'm turning my back on this connection, not necessarily this person like forever, but I am turning my back on this connection, and I'm like not putting any energy into it, because clearly what I can see here is that there's an ending of a dynamic that has existed between the two of you that can't exist anymore. And I think that it's probably led to this imbalance between the two of you, but I also feel like for you, there's kind of awareness of the fact that you're in this painful in-between where like life and death both exist in this connection. And what I mean by that is it seems like you instigated a pause, a separation, or an ending, or just stopped putting in energy in the way that you were. And it has definitely led to the connection stagnating, like things, like there is an ending of a dynamic here, but at the same time, there's still a lot of energy being exchanged. There's still a lot of passion, and there's also like a lot of care here on both ends. But I feel like for you especially, I feel like honestly, like not having this person in your world, or like even just like thoughts of them or thoughts of the future that you are building, like it might feel like you've lost a limb or like lost, you know, a part of yourself that just felt like a natural extension of yourself. Like I do feel like this person feels like family to you, and is someone that you do see as like very near and dear to your heart, like someone that you consider sacred. But at the same time, like I feel like there is awareness here that whatever imbalance was being caused or created, it wasn't up to you to resolve it. And in fact, it wasn't your job. And I feel like for you, you had to make a very painful and difficult decision to either put this down or walk away, or because for some of you it could be more dramatic, like you could have like formally ended things or walked away. For others, I feel like you might have just been like, I'm just not like giving it any energy, like I'm not really, I'm putting this down and giving it a rest. But I feel like at the same time you still have like sweet feelings for this person. I feel like you still really care about them, like they still feel like family to you. They still feel like you know, they're still someone very near and dear to your heart. But I think that what's changed, and what I really do love to see here from you, is that you've recognized that just because someone is near and dear to your heart doesn't mean that they're automatically entitled to access to it. It seems like whatever dynamic was occurring between the two of you, it seems like you were giving too much and they weren't putting in enough. And it also seems like the connection was creating imbalance in your life. And while that may not have been like this person's fault, or it may not have been intentional, or it may have been, you know, something that you woke up to where you were like, oh, okay, I think I'm centering this situation too much in my life, I need to take a step back, which is really healthy, and I want to applaud that as well. Like I love to see that. It just seems like you're in this awkward, like I said, like life and death place where it's not that dramatic. Like it's not like something coming back to life or something at risk of dying, but rather just the death card in the truest sense, like in the midst of transformation. And I think that you're kind of aware of the fact that the person you're asking about has some things that they need to work on, and we'll get to them. And you know it's not your job to force them to do that, and it's also not fair to sit and expect and wait for that to happen. So I feel like you're in this place where you're like, there's a lot of potential here, you know, I really care about this person, but also the way that things have been cannot continue to be. And if that's the only way that this connection can exist, then this connection may not be able to exist in my world anymore. And I think that there's kind of this like, I feel like you're almost preemptively like preparing for the worst, like so that, you know, healing isn't harder than it needs to be. But I also feel like at the same time, you are doing a really great job of having many truths here at once. Like you can be both maybe missing this person or sad at how things are, but also recognize like you're not going to do something that falls under the umbrella of self-betrayal, or that lacks respect for you, or like, not saying that this person lacks respect for you, but like maybe there were certain behaviors or dynamics or things going on that you were allowing that weren't respectful to yourself. And maybe you realized like, oh, you know, me continuing to enable this, like it's just disrespectful to me and I can't do that. So I love to see the self-respect and the self-esteem that you have here. And I feel like there's also this awareness on your end where you're like, it's not my job to instigate. Like it's this person's job to instigate. And I think that you're in a very stable position. And one thing I will say as well, numbers seem to be really significant for this group specifically. You coming up as a 4 definitely represents stability. And also the 10 coming out tells me like that you are definitely over whatever cycles that have been here that are just not serving either of you, between the two of you. But I do sense this kind of like maybe disappointment or sadness that this person hasn't maybe reached out more or done enough to maybe clarify why you're doing what you're doing. Like I feel like you wish there was more curiosity on your person's end, or more willingness for them to kind of open up the doors of communication and connection, because I feel like you do have a desire to like share with them. And I think whatever has occurred, like if there was a lot of emotional intensity that led to this breakup, separation, or like, and it doesn't even have to be that dramatic, it could just be like break, or just this time of like, this time apart, I feel like you kind of had hopes that maybe this person would be a bit more communicative or be more curious about your perspective and your stance. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if you had like conversations out loud to this person while you're alone, like just venting your feelings and venting like I think it's been hard for you to make this choice, and I really want to acknowledge that. Like, I want to say thank you for doing what's best for yourself even when it's hard, because you're like, that's true self-love. Like, you're showing yourself what, like, I want to cry because I'm just so proud of you. Like, you are showing yourself what self-love looks like, and I'm just like I'm not your mother, but like I feel like her, and as a Cancer midheaven, I'm very proud of you. I'm very proud of you and what you are doing to put yourself first. And I feel like there's also maybe some fears on your end as well, that what if this person thinks I hate them, or what if this person, because I feel like things are kind of radio silent on your end, and you're not even looking over at them. Like, I feel like you're actively trying to, I wouldn't say like avoid the situation, but I would say like keep it off your mind and keep your focus away from it, because it seems like dwelling on it doesn't do anything productive or beneficial for you. It seems like it maybe leads to spiraling, or like, did I make the right decision, or just like reopening like feelings of longing or yearning that are maybe not the most helpful for you. I feel like you're just kind of in this place of like being in your own sanctuary and trying to focus on yourself and trying to deal with the hard feelings that come with, you know, decisions like this that have to be made, whilst also like preparing for and anticipating like whatever may come. Now, when it comes to your person, I just had the biggest shit-eating grin come on my face. That's an interesting sentence. Because the silence is working. Can I just say, the silence is working. You made a good move here. Like, you knew in making this decision that, well, maybe you didn't know, but I feel like you recognize it now, or you're about to know, that when you did that, you broke the cycle that was occurring between the two of you. And now the ball is in your person's court, because they are having to, number one, deal with the silence that your absence has created, deal with the absence in general. And they're realizing that, like, however you guys used to relate, however you guys used to connect, things are going to have to change if that wants to continue. So looking at them, we have this 7 here. And 7s are a very spiritual number, and also a very individual number. And so I feel like this, you being silent, has been very good for them, because it's created space for them to see where they need to step up. And also, I feel like they didn't realize maybe how much mental and emotional labor you were doing within the connection or relationship. I feel like this time apart has really opened their eyes to the fact that, number one, I think they could have been taking you and your relationship or connection for granted. And number two, realizing that, I think things that you've talked about in the past, like especially related to spirituality or energy, I definitely feel like it is hitting this person. And specifically, I don't know if you've talked about spirituality and energy as it relates to like the concept of like soulmates, or, you know, I don't like the term twins, but that, or you know, just like having like a spiritual connection. I feel like this person, like their mind, in the time that you've been apart, their mind has expanded, and they are realizing like there's something really special here. well, I mean, here's the thing. They already knew there was something special. Like, you've always been special to them. But where there's been more disconnect is you've had faith in a higher vision that they've never had access to, because they've always looked at love and connection through a very egoic lens. And they haven't necessarily had the opportunity. They wouldn't know a divine connection in front of them if it slapped them in the face, because they'd never seen one before. You know what I mean? And it's almost like having the energy of the connection dissipate. That's kind of been exactly what has allowed them to, number one, see your value from an objective place. Because, like, they've always known how wonderful you are. Like, I think that their reservations and hesitations have come from a place of, am I able to give enough in return? Which it seems like they weren't. They hadn't been able to. And I think that they also, that inability, they might have used as a convenient explanation to not have to go outside their comfort zone. And it seems like the dynamic you guys had, you know, was allowing this, like, your person to stay in their comfort zone at the expense of your comfort, and also at the expense, and it has benefited you in the sense that it has forced you to put your ego aside many times, and it's forced you to look at things from a higher perspective. It's forced you to be the bigger person, do the mature thing. But, like, at some point, you can only do so much if the other person is not carrying their weight. And, like, I think in this person's case, they've needed you to kind of not like, and they don't recognize this, but in you putting this down, it's forced them to see how much you were carrying. And it's also forcing them to see how much invisible labor you were doing that they didn't respect, or that they didn't respect it because they didn't know it was there. They didn't realize that there was actually, like, if you guys had conversations about this where you were like, I'm feeling emotionally neglected, or like, I'm feeling this, or I'm, you know, I feel like they probably did not take it as seriously because, number one, they might be dealing with more intense survival needs, or just number two, maybe they didn't take it seriously because they were confronted by, you know, what taking it seriously would ask of them. And so they might have been like, I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I can. So where they're at now, I think that their eyes have opened a lot to not only, oh, I just got really intense deja vu. Like, just looking at the, I don't know. That's interesting. I feel like they are opening up to an entire new world. Like, they're having some sort of pretty big awakening, I think. And I don't know if it's spiritual in nature, but I do think it is, like, it is more heart-centered and more faith-based. Like, I don't know if this person believes in anything, but I do think they believe in, like, a current or a thread or something that they now want tons of information on. Like, I feel like this person is starting to take their healing seriously. And with this Seven of Pentacles, they're invested in you. They're invested in the connection you guys share. And they're right now weighing their options, not in terms of, like, other people, but, like, what do I need to do to be acceptable, to create balance here, to step up? Like, I think that they are looking at what's possible and what isn't for them right now. And I think that they're taking this silence seriously. I think that they would rather come correct than come in impulsively and not have evidence to back up what they're doing. I do feel like, though, this person is kind of needing to, like, grow up a little bit. Like, and I feel kind of bad saying that, but at the same time, because I do think in some ways this person has been overly responsible in their life, but when it comes to relationships, I think that they are a bit underdeveloped in terms of healthy relational dynamics, and I think that when it comes to your connection, you showed them quite clearly what they needed to work on, and I think that they are working on it. And the fact we have I'm concocting a plan to make you mine, I feel like they recognize that things cannot stay the same as they were. I think they're glad and they respect you for whatever you did to like break this cycle, whether it was, you know, confronting things, walking away, whether it's putting a pause on things. I definitely think they respect you for that. And I also feel like whatever has occurred in that time frame, they're having this huge spiritual, like, I guess it is a spiritual awakening. Like, even if they've been awake in other ways, they're waking up so much. And I think that they are right now in this process of, okay, like, I need to keep my head down and work. But also at the same time, I think that they are riding a bit of a spiritual high where because they're basically, it's like they're figuring out that they're not damned. Like, it's realizing that their redemption is possible for them, that change is possible for them, that they don't have to be where they have been. Like, that is something that's very exciting to them. And I think that just the way that their mind is expanding and their beliefs are expanding right now, I think that that could actually be occupying them a little bit. But you're a key inspiration for them exploring this. And I think that there's actually a lot of excitement to share this with you. But I also do see nerves here around opening things up. Like, I do wonder, like, this person, like, if you came and talked to this person, I feel like they would accept you tomorrow, but they may not be the version of themselves that is capable of holding a new dynamic. I feel like they are less certain of where you stand, and I feel like they are more nervous around, like, is this situation going to work out? Like, they're taking this situation seriously. And, like, honestly, I would be more concerned if they were, like, pining at you and missing you in a way where they were neglecting themselves because they just wanted you to resolve, you know, whatever emotional vacuum was created when you left. Like, that would be more concerning. I feel like they're in a big, like, self-improvement kick, but it's also self-improvement sparked by divine inspiration. Like, they're I'm hearing, like, the song from Milan, like, I'll make a man out of you. Like, I feel like they're trying to become the type of partner that you need, and they're also recognizing, like, they need to be a better person to themselves. And I think that you have been the blueprint in terms of showing them that you're not doomed to repeat cycles, and showing them that you're not doomed to your own dysfunction, that you can stop the cycle, that you can choose to change, that you can do something differently. And so that's where we look at the connecting energies here, and I see two people that are honestly a bit proud, a bit maybe too proud, to admit the emotional vulnerabilities on both ends here. You, I would say, though, it's not a pridefulness thing, like, oh, you can't get your ego out of the way. It's more of like a, you know, you set a boundary and you have to stick to it. Like, if you didn't, it would be like, you know, saying that there's a new rule and then breaking it all the time. Like, the rule isn't real if it's not followed. So I think that for you, there is this feeling of, like, I know that I'm going to come out on top of this situation no matter what happens or what unfolds. But, like, I definitely feel like there is a bit of needing to, like, swallow some more tender feelings and some, like, desire for connection here, because you know that those needs being met, or the, like, acting on those needs might just reopen things in a way that isn't healthy or isn't ideal. I feel like you guys might be having lots of dreams about one another. The fact that we have both Mystic and Secret Doorway here, and there's 2 5s here, tells me that there's a lot of powerful and profound change happening. I think both of you are expanding spiritually, and I think both of you are, I think for you, there's more expansion in the material realm. Like, I feel like there's a going back to basics here, and for you, like a focusing on what makes you feel connected to life, like what makes you feel nourished, what makes you feel cared for, what makes you feel at home. And like, I would definitely continue surrounding yourself with people that make you feel cared for, that, you know, remind you of your value. And just like, I know that you have love in your life in other ways, and I feel like there's definitely an encouragement to continue embracing that. But I also think that like you're picking up intuitively on like this person, and I feel like you probably have this kind of inkling that like everything's gonna be fine here, but you don't want to trust that. I feel like you kind of have this feeling like this person is going to step up, like this person is going to figure it out. And I feel like, you know, here's your confirmation that you're right, like they are working on it. It might take more time than you're anticipating, but I do feel like this person is someone who is very proud. And in their case, like my throat keeps like I definitely see like there's communication issues here, but I see that like this time not communicating is allowing for powerful changes in both consciousness and lifestyle that will allow for more balance should the two of you choose to reconvene. I think the big thing though is that you're not waiting around. Maybe you are a little bit. You might want to like check yourself a little bit if you find yourself like getting into an energy where you're too focused on like what they might be doing. You might be using like divination or something to kind of check in, which like can't hate the game. I certainly love being here doing it. But you may want to pay attention to just like that balance and making sure like not too much of your focus is going over there, because it just kind of goes against the value of what this time of silence is meant for. So I feel like for your person, I feel like they're having a lot of really interesting mystical experiences. I feel like they're seeing things and like seeing signs, and also I think that they're seeing confirmation of things you've said to them, and they could be just very innocuous things that are showing them that life is more connected and less coincidental than they thought. And with the 6 of Wands here, I do feel like they do not want to come in a way that is weak or vulnerable. I feel like they want to come in strong and like show you what they've accomplished or show you how they're changing. I feel like they definitely feel very proud to have someone like you by their side, and I feel like they probably wouldn't admit that they've taken you for granted, because number one, they probably wouldn't want you to know that they ever have. Like, they might feel ashamed of that. But they are proud, like, to know you. And I think that, like, both of you want a positive outcome here. I feel like, especially with that 6 of Wands, like, both of you want things to work out between the two of you. But neither of you are willing to do that at the expense of your dignity, or in this person's case, being vulnerable in a way that they feel makes them look weak. And in your case, taking action that, while might facilitate connection, may be self-betrayal. So I definitely feel like both of you guys are trying to stiff upper lip it a bit and like do your best to present a good image forward while you work through things silently. And with this, there, things are imbalanced. And I think that in your case, you know, it's not your job to fix them. But I do think that this space is allowing a lot of movement, a lot of growth, a lot of expansion that I feel like has been needed and is necessary if anything is to change or expand or grow. So we're gonna go ahead and get guidance now. If I can figure out where I put the tarot deck, what the heck? I'm gonna go look for that. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and get guidance for you, for them, and for both of you to see just what you need to know. But if you're interested, I am going to be doing an extended where I'm going to be channeling in first person, and I am going to basically be exposing your person's secrets, the truths in their heart, the desires they've left unspoken, you know, their thoughts, their feelings, everything. And I think specifically I want to focus on for your group, I want to focus on what they've realized in this time of silence. Like, I really want to be able to communicate to you everything that maybe they want to say, but they also are not ready to say until they have like action that's backed it up, or, you know, the things that they've maybe been too proud to admit. I will be revealing them. And then we're also going to do channel messages, and we're going to look at what's next for the connection. So if you're interested in that, that'll be linked down below. But if not, just grateful you're here. Grateful for all of you that leave me a little like ski, that subscribe, that sign up for the email list, that let the ads play. You know how it is. You know how it is, and I appreciate all of it. It just allows me to keep doing this and spend time with you guys. So thank you. Okay. So what guidance spirit do you have for group 2? What do they need to know about this situation for their highest good? We have the King of Swords, knowledgeable, experienced, fair-minded, unemotional. So I definitely think that there is encouragement here to continue doing what is rational, not what you're most like. This is the message of, this is the time to listen to your head and not your heart, in the sense of taking action. It's fine to listen to your heart when you get an intuitive nudge. It's fine to listen to your heart when you have a pang of sadness or a pang of fear around what's happening. But it's important that how you respond to that continues to be fair to yourself and continues to have your best interests at mind, your current self best interests at mind, and your future self's best interests in mind. And if there's, you know, anyone in your life like children or like dependents that you have, that would be really important as well. I do feel like there is this message here that you know, like your big heart is something that's very beautiful, but it might create confusion around like what is and isn't yours to resolve. Like, I feel like you could get into a tizzy, like fearing about some sort of like, oh, what if they think I hate them? Like, what if I'm being bad because I'm not communicating? Like, am I being harsh? Am I being cruel? No. You're doing what is reasonable and what should be expected when you're in a situation with someone where, you know, things aren't changing and they need to, if things are to survive. I would also say that there's guidance here as well of embracing, you know, this mindset, this King of Swords mindset of being a little bit more cool and rational and detached, because I think that it is creating more balance within you where, you know, in the past, and I'm not even talking about this relationship actually, I'm just talking about your life in general. It seems like you have kind of overcompensated for perceived fears of, well, what if I made this person uncomfortable, or what if this person gets upset if I don't, like, I see you dealing with a lot of guilt for things that are not, like, for other people's emotions and for things that are just not your responsibility. And so I think that there is kind of this guidance to apply this King of Swords mentality that you've had with this connection to every area of your life, and to be a little bit more critical of why you do the things that you do, why you have the things that you have, why you want the things that you want. Like, you know, if there are things that are maybe not the best for you that you've made exceptions for, now might be the time to be like, you know, am I holding on to this thing because it brings value to my life, or am I holding on to it because I love it and I don't want to let go? Like, I think it could just be really helpful for you to apply that mentality elsewhere in your life. But for group two's person, what guidance do you have for the person group two is asking about, please? What do they need to know? We have the Queen of Pentacles. So I definitely feel like the guidance for them is to nurture themselves more, but also to be more down to earth about their own expectations of themselves. Like, I think that this person is going through a very necessary time of learning to, like, reparent themselves or mother themselves. And I think that the guidance here for this person is to take note of all the ways that you, group two, were putting in a lot of effort and were, like, nurturing the connection. Because those are, because I think these are the things that they're learning now. Like, with this Queen of Pentacles, I feel like they are learning healthier habits in terms of their home life, in terms of maintaining connection, in terms of, like, what's healthy and expected. I feel like they're starting to realize where they've also kept love out because they feel like they're not good enough yet, they're not formed enough yet. I feel like their guidance is a lot around, like, know the value of what's being offered to you. Do your best to continue being practical and being gentle with yourself as you undergo this evolution. But also, I feel like there's guidance here of express more gratitude. I feel like this person could benefit from expressing more gratitude, especially towards people like you who maybe have given a lot to them that they haven't acknowledged. Yeah, but let's see the guidance for both of you. So what guidance do you have for group two and their person when it comes to their connection, please? We have the King of Pentacles. Be assertive when it comes to what you know is right. Everything is going your way. Compassionate, accomplished, charismatic, gifted. So yeah, I feel like this is a beautiful sign that, like, things are moving in a positive direction. And I feel like on your person's end, I feel like the guidance here is to double down on the changes that you're making, because they are not only beneficial, but they are what will attract you back to them. Like, they need to develop these skills, and I think they are doing a great job. But I think for you, the message here is definitely know your worth and continue acting from that place, because not only will you never regret that, but also, like, do you see how doing the hard thing is bringing about what you want? I'm sorry if you can hear my stomach. I'm sorry. Continue to know your worth. Like, you do not have to do work here. Your work, honestly, is really just focused on making your present life richer and letting things unfold and seeing how this person steps up. Like, I think there's this assurance of like, do not doubt the value of what you bring to the table, and do not doubt what you want in a relationship. Do not doubt what you see. Do not doubt what's happening, because that assertion not only is great for you to just build more trust with yourself, but I also think it's a powerful act of faith to act on what you feel is right without knowing how it's going to unfold. And I think that you're seeing things pretty clearly. And I think that your person is quite clear on the fact that they need to grow and they need to step things up. And I think that you're going to see that shift. Now, how it happens, I think it's unique for all of you, but we are going to look in the extended at what's next for the two of you. So if I see like, you know, any opportunities for like how this could resolve itself, I will let you know there. But group number 2, that is where I'm going to leave your reading. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much, like I said, for letting my ads play in the background, or for just getting YouTube Premium where you can watch me ad free, or for leaving me a tip if you have ad blocker on, or thanks for turning off your ad blocker for me, because that's like really nice and really cool. And think about it, like, you're doing something really powerful when you let an ad play and you don't watch it and you put it on mute, because like you're just wasting someone's ad dollars and giving some of them to me. YouTube gets the rest of it, but it's pretty cool. Yeah, other ways to support, like, comment, you know the deal. That stuff will be linked down below. I'm gonna move over to the extended now, so thank you guys so much for watching and for letting me read for you. I really hope these messages resonated. And if you want more of me, I'm going to be looking at what's going on in their heart space and all that jazz. But if you are leaving me here, I love you guys so much. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this video. And I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye! Hi there, Pile 3. Welcome to your reading, and thank you so much for being here. If you guys chose the green heart and this oracle card that says poison oak, this is going to be your reading on the connection between you and the person you are asking about. So we are going to start by full breakdown of the reading in the intro, and I promise I won't be this close to your ear the whole time, just while I'm like lying these cards down. So we're going to start with your energy, and then we're going to look at the person you're asking about's energy, and then we're going to look at the connecting energies. And I know poison oak looks scary, but I'll be okay. Okay, so for you, we have strength, Leo vibes. I love Leos. Shout out to all the Leos. We have the 4 of Cups. We have soften. And we have I've been keeping an eye out for you. And then when it comes to the person you're asking about, energy or person, we have the 3 of Wands. We have pleasure. We have a world to build together. And the 2 of Cups. Interesting. Okay. And these represent the connecting energies. So we have poison oak. We have the Fool. We have always. And we have glimpse. So, okay, my lovely intelligent group 3s, you're gonna have to bear with me because I see a couple of different scenarios here. So you may have to wait until you hear yours, and I'll be specific about what I do see. I don't like that that's so, right. Okay. I'm definitely curious to know what has led up to this situation, because I can see a couple of different things happening here. I want to start with your person. Can't forget your heart. I really want to start with your person because their energy is quite clear and quite transparent. They not only see a future with you, they are actually expecting a positive outcome and a positive future with you. This person thinks that you are their other half. Like, it's really like you complete them type energy. And I literally have to stop myself because I can already feel some of you being like, there's no way that's true. No. All right, fine. We'll start with you. What I see here is like your person being very gung-ho towards you and your relationship or connection. And I see you being more hesitant. And one scenario that I can see here is that I think for some of you, you were quite gung-ho about this person. Like, the energy that they're in now was the energy you were in until you realized either maybe this person didn't have the same vision, or maybe they were wasting your time, or maybe there could have even been like future faking, or there could have been like you were taking things very seriously and this person wasn't taking them as seriously. Or like you kept the door open and this person like kept shutting it, or just wasn't stepping into deeper partnership and connection, or just was on some like they were just being self-destructive in one way or another. And so, and this is still just one scenario, by the way, so if what I'm saying doesn't hit, be patient, because you might be in another group. But I feel like for some of you, the reason why there's like resistance here is because it's almost like everything you wanted this person to mirror back to you, they now actually feel. And I think that time, like so much time has passed, and like either what you sacrificed in order to cope with or accept that they weren't matching that at the time, or whatever happened or occurred, it seems like you have walls up. And it seems like despite this person being very straightforward about what they want with you, it seems like you are hesitant or slow to trust, or also realizing like, wow, I got what I wanted and now I don't know if it's what I want. Like that sort of thing. So that's one scenario I see. I see one of you, like your person being very gung-ho and very laser focused on the relationship. And I see you being in a place where you're actually kind of like in two minds about it, because it's like I can tell that you definitely really care about this person, and you have really strong feelings for them, but at the same time, like the feelings that you felt leading up to this, like it seems like, you know, you've kind of built protective barriers around this person because maybe they've hurt you. And then also too, it might be that like you're not like it might be kind of a too little too late sort of thing, where you're kind of weighing like, is this something I still really want? I'm not sure. For others of you, I see a situation here where this could either be a new connection or long distance. I guess for all of you, this could be long distance, but this could be long distance specifically where you are struggling just with the distance, despite the fact that maybe you guys have the same, you know, vision for what you want for your future. Because where I see you, trying to think if there's like any other, I'm just gonna start interpreting, and I think you guys are smart enough to figure out whether this reading is for you or not. But I definitely have a lot of questions for the you section, because I definitely see resistance here, and I don't know if that resistance is from like, I don't know if I can trust this person. Like, yes, they say they want these things, but is that what they really want? Or are they just leading me on? For others of you, it could be like, I'm invested in this situation, but I'm, you know, really struggling with like the distance or the absence. I'm really struggling with the fact that with the present, like you might be in a place where you're like, I'm being patient. I do see that I do share the same future, but you know, like if the future is something you're building together, and like especially if you're at a distance from one another, or there are things like visas or internet, like if it's international, like there could definitely be a lot of logistics that take time to work through. You could almost feel like frustrated at this person, or been kind of like angry at them, or just kind of avoidant of the whole situation. And I feel like you kind of feel bad that you feel that way. Like with this softening here, I feel like you have a wall up around this person that you don't necessarily want to have. And I think that for some of you, that wall is there because it was a natural consequence of how maybe this person was acting in the past. For others of you, though, I feel like that wall could be there out of fear of disappointment, or fear of what if this doesn't work out, or fear of like, what if we're stuck in these circumstances for a really long time. I feel like it's very hard for you to be patient with this process, because I feel like you have been patient, or it's like you've been patient in meeting this person, and now they're here and like things are working, and now you've got to deal with these undesirable aspects like distance, or, you know, immigration, or like financial things. Like, I feel like your person is way more one-track mind about the connection than you are. And I feel like for those of you that feel resistance because this person was inconsistent or wishy-washy in the past, I think you have every reason to feel that way, because as soon as I lay these cards down, like I can smell, metaphorically, oh wow, you are really gung-ho about this situation. Were you always that way? Because it seems like my group 3 is hesitating. Like, I could just smell immediately, like, this seems like a level of gung-ho that comes after realizing that they can't play around anymore, or that they were taking the situation for granted, or they were not investing as much as you were. And I feel like it feels like you guys have either worked through that, or I feel like you personally are working through a lack of like I guess, is it an oxymoron to say a feeling of apathy? But also I think you're getting bouts of rage and frustration, or like resentment or bitterness. If you and this person are in a good place, and they haven't like done anything that has made you question the relationship, or question whether it's something that you want, like if this is just a long distance situation where you're struggling with the distance, and struggling with the fact that like things aren't where you want to be despite the fact that you're building a future, I do feel like you might be having feelings of anger, bitterness, frustration, resentment about the fact that it seems like your person may not be sharing in the same emotional difficulties of not being able to be near you, or not being able, like, you might be kind of frustrated that it seems like they're very positive about your future together, and there doesn't seem to be the same sense of urgency that you have. And it also might even feel like, you know, how can you go and like have so much fun and like live your life when I'm unhappy like this? Now, I'm not gonna place a judgment on whether that's a fair thing to think, but I do think that there is kind of a, why aren't you more affected by the obstacles towards the future you see? Because I'm really affected by them, and I feel like you're not seeing that. It's almost like I feel like you could be in this situation where you feel like this person is so positive, that it almost makes you feel like your negative feelings, or your like, or the lack of feeling that you have right now, you might almost feel like that positivity is invalidating it, or you might just feel even worse because you're like, am I being ungrateful? Am I being you know, am I pushing away a good thing? Or I feel like you're definitely in a really challenging place where you're questioning a lot. Like, for all of you, you're questioning a lot. But for those of you where this person wasn't always so clear about what they wanted, I feel like for you, it's like, okay, it's great that you want this now, but like, now I don't know what I want. Like, I feel like you also want what they want, because I feel like that's what you've always wanted. But now you're kind of in a place where I feel like whatever occurred before this person realized what they wanted with you, whatever pain that put you through and whatever inconsistencies this person was dealing with, like, or however they behaved, it clearly did a number on you in a way where you're definitely hesitant to trust what they say. You're definitely hesitant to be more open to them. And I feel like there's also like a, yes, I want to be close to you, but also I resent the fact that you didn't want this sooner. And I resent the fact that it took all of this for you to realize that's what you want. That is so valid and so fair, bestie. I'm telling you what, that is so real. And I feel like with this, I've been keeping an eye out for you. I feel like you're kind of in this place where you're holding back. For all of you, I feel like you're kind of holding back and kind of holding in just a lot of emotion that I don't know if you know how to process, because I feel like you might be judging yourself for having it. And you might also just be in a place too where like life in general is just kind of beating you down. And if it is, I'm sorry, and I'm sending you a big hug. And so it might be harder for you to be more clear emotionally around where you stand. And I feel like there's a part of you that's like, no, I need to be strong. I need to be like, I need to keep my walls up. And then another part of you that's like, no, I don't want to push away a good thing. Like, you know, this person is trying, or, you know, it's not this person's fault that we have to wait a few months for us to see each other, or, you know, time differences are nobody's fault. And you could also be in a place where you actively realize like, I want my person to have fun and live their life even if I'm not there. I want them to be happy, but also like I'm frustrated about the fact that they're not expressing the same level of pain that I have towards the fact that things aren't where I want them to be. Like, also valid and so fair. And so I feel like where your person's at is, for those of you where there isn't like as much of a history here, like the challenges are more logistical, like I think that this person is very clear on what they want with you. I don't know if this person has like Jupiter on their ascendant, or if they've got like really prominent Jupiter placements, but I feel like this is somebody, whoever your person is, like they're definitely somebody who sees they see the glass half full. Like they're definitely a more positive person, and they know how to be present in a way that I think is very special, because not everybody has that ability. But I do think that this person can also get consumed with like their pleasures. And I think there's definitely like a sensual component to your connection, where even if you guys haven't been together physically yet, there's a lot of that passion there. And I feel like there is almost something kind of addicting about this relationship. And the fact that we have always here, like there's a very strong, palpable connection between the two of you. And so I can see, no matter what the circumstances are, I can understand why you be feeling the way that you're feeling, and I understand why this person's feeling the way that they're feeling. Because on your end, I feel like, you know, there is this timeless bond, and there is this like, there's something special here. But also I think that you're questioning like, you know, what is healthy and what isn't. And also maybe you have felt like addicted to this person, or addicted to their attention, or addicted to their validation. And now that it is completely directed towards you, maybe you're feeling like kind of, maybe this is too strong, maybe this is too much. So for some of you, I don't know why I didn't think of this originally, but it could just be as simple as this person is very sure and feeling very strongly about what they want with you, and you're kind of like, I'd like to see how things unfold. I'm not really sure. Like you might be in a place where you're like, I'm not even sure if I'm open to love right now. And or if I'm ready for something deeper. And that might be something that's kind of causing you to like kind of hold back a little bit, where this person might be like ready to move forward and you're like, can we just stay here for a second, because like I don't know what I want here. I think though where you guys are the same is like the chemistry, the passion between the two of you, that's there. Like I feel like both of you, there's an addicting quality to the energy between the two of you, because like it's so enjoyable, it's so pleasurable. I think you guys love being around one another, you love connecting. And I think for you, if there is any history where this person didn't always value this connection the way they should have, then I definitely see like the struggle between like, I don't want to be in a position where I open myself up again and then they switch up on me, or it's almost like I don't want to have to go through withdrawal through this person again because they change their mind, or they're inconsistent. And I also think there's like sadness too, because it's like I feel like you trust that this person does genuinely want this, but you also may struggle placing your faith in their ability to actually make it happen. I will say like there is a lot of passion and emotion from your person, but there is no like pentacles or anything like that. So their ability to ground the bright future they see, I don't know how strong that is. So like, for example, this could be someone that sees a really bright future with you, but it stays in the future because, you know, they're distracted by the present or something like that. So that could also be something that's a bit frustrating. Like I definitely feel like this person sees you as like if you guys are not already together, I feel like they see you as who they want to be their partner. I feel like they love being around you. Can't get enough of your body, that's for sure. And I feel like they do have this very romantic idea of the future together. And I think one thing that this person would readily admit, and we can look at that in the extended, is that, you know, maybe they took you and the relationship they had with you for granted because they assumed it would always be there. And I think whatever transpired between the two of you, if something happened where you withdrew your energy or something like that, I definitely think it was the scare that they needed to realize that like you're not a guarantee. You're a privilege, not a right. And so no matter what, I feel like you guys are like, there's either a new beginning together that we can embark on, or there's a new beginning being created in this situation. And I feel like you're heavily questioning whether you can trust your own instincts in this connection, because I feel like number one, you don't know, I feel like you don't know how you would feel, and that's really valid. And number two, you don't know if this person is truly sincere about wanting what they say they want, and whether it's a desire that they're actually actively acting on, nice alliteration, or if it's just like a desire that is staying a desire because they got their head in the clouds. I definitely think there's just a strong and powerful bond between the two of you, but with glimpse here, I definitely feel like there's a theme of power for the two of you, where both of you are needing to look at how you use your power in this connection, and also like what you give power over you, especially when it comes to what's right for you and what's healthy for you. I feel like for this person, for your person, I think that they're realizing that they have more authority over the future than they realize. Like, I feel like they are actually like taking steps and wanting to move this situation forward. But I also feel like their viewpoint could be so positive and so like one track mind that they're not seeing that maybe there's like, they might be disconnected from you in the sense that they're not really seeing that maybe you're not entirely on the same page. But I would also say to you, if you haven't communicated that, that could be it might be on you to communicate that, because like this person could have no idea that you feel frustrated or resentful. But for some of you, if this person knows that they did something wrong and like their, you know, one track mind focus on this future with you is as a result of, you know, losing you or realizing they're at great risk of losing you, I definitely could see that they might be super gung-ho because they're trying to compensate for not showing up in that way to begin with. And it might almost be like a, like, I don't believe that they're being insincere. Like, they truly want and desire a future with you. They see you as their ideal partner. They love how you connect. They feel really connected to you. But I definitely can see here where they can see the light so much that it almost blinds them to where there's still work to be done, where there's still growth to be had, and where maybe it would be healthy and good to have some conversations. Like, I think that this person shies away from conflict, and I think that this person you know, likes the lighter side of life, and that's one reason why they love you, is because you guys have this really like they love being around you. They love connecting to you. They love you. They love the connection that you share. But I definitely don't feel like they necessarily love the logistical pieces that come with not just relationships, but anything in life. I think that's definitely part of their growth. I think for you guys, though, there's awareness that both of you can see something special here. But there's also awareness that, at least on your end, that you can't fully see or know where your person's head is truly at. Like, I feel like, especially if they're at a distance, you know, it might be hard, like, especially if you have trust issues or something like that, or, you know, if you're not able to see what they're like on a day-to-day basis, or if you've never been able to, like, live with them, or even just, like, spend more than, like, 2 weeks together at a time or something like that. You know, I could really see where you're like, yes, this feels special, this feels promising, but can this work in real life? And also, like, is this situation salvageable? And I think the question of, is this situation salvageable, is specifically for those of you that have underlying unresolved feelings around things that this person did in the past that could have hurt you. For those of you that do not have that factor, then I would say that salvageability is not a worry here. It's more so like, I feel like on your end, it's, I don't know how I feel about things, and like the idea of the future that this person wants is something that I feel like I want, but I also don't know if it's what I want. And also, you know, what if they're not being serious about that? I feel like because you can't see like directly through this person and also see the future and also see, you know, like 50 million other factors, that there's definitely like a challenge of, is this where I should be? Is this not where I should be? Is this what I want? Is this not what I want? And then also, this person's certainty might be adding to the pressure that you feel, because you might be like, I don't want to like lead them on, or I don't want to like, I feel like there's definitely a lot of uncertainty here. I also want to mention that we have 34 on 2 different cards, and it's just making me think of Empress and Emperor. Like, I feel like there is like a really solid, stable partnership energy that is possible here. But I feel like you are questioning whether it's what you want, and whether or not it's what's best for you. Or whether or not, like, even if it's what you want and you feel it's what's best, you might also be in this position of, but is it going to hurt me, or is it going to backfire? Like, am I right to trust this person? Is this too good to be true? Is it not? Like, I feel like both of you are kind of having to take a leap of faith here. And for this person, they might, you know, be making up for foolish behavior that they did in the past. And I think for you, there might also be like, you might also be just like kind of reckoning with your ego around like, you know, especially if you have a history with this person, you might be dealing with the fact that, like, I finally got what I wanted with this person, which is, like, they want what I always wanted, but now I don't know if I want that. Now I don't know, I don't know if that can happen. And you might be feeling like, would I be stupid to pursue this? Or would I be stupid to walk away from this knowing how special and impactful it is just because I don't want to look dumb? I don't want to look weak. I feel like, I feel like you got to give yourself a lot of credit, because I do feel like you are balancing healthy restraint with deep desire for communion and connection with this person. And I feel like that it's not that you guys aren't connecting at all, but I do feel like it's hard for you to even maybe show up with this person the way that you want to because of the underlying fears or doubts you have. And because maybe this person doesn't share those same doubts or fears, you might question yourself further. So I definitely think that there is a question of inner authority that's arising for the both of you, where this person is contending with the fact that I think your person is using their own inner authority to move things forward. I think that's what they're focused on. But also they're using their authority to ensure their pleasure in the meantime. And I don't mean that in like if you guys have a commitment, I don't think this person's going and like cheating on you or anything like that. But I do think that like this person is not holding their life back or slowing their life down. Like this is someone when they're dealing with a lot emotionally, they want to go be out in the world and like have a positive distraction. Like I could see this person, you know, like you might be the type of person like when you're struggling emotionally, you just want to like hermit, or you kind of want to talk about it or be like reflective or just sit with it, process it. This person, when they have those emotional states, they want to go to a concert or they want to go be in a place that is pleasurable and that gets them out of that feeling. And so I feel like for you, one thing that might be helpful to know is like they're always going to, like, even when they are having a hard time, especially when they're having a hard time, they're going to go do things that excite them and light them up. And if they're at a distance from you especially, it might be kind of frustrating because like there could be times where like maybe they have the opportunity to connect with you, or they have the opportunity to go to like a party and they choose the party because they're like, well, you know, we can talk tomorrow. Or you might just be feeling like sometimes like their pleasure comes before, like they can be so wrapped up and consumed with what excites them or what they want, what they desire, that they're not even really stopping to like connect to you. Like I could definitely see, but they can and they do like that connection is real and it is there. But I could definitely see that this person may be a lot more gung-ho about things with you, because I feel like you are connecting to them, but they may not be connecting to you at the same depth and at the same level of awareness. And I don't think it's malicious. Like I don't think this person like doesn't care, but I do think that this person struggles to step outside of themselves sometimes because the vision that they see is so bright, they're blinded to the idea that anyone else could see anything differently. Does that make sense? Like I definitely think there's a lot of care, a lot of compassion, and a lot of concern here. But I do feel like there is a level of simplicity and straightforwardness in your person's on your person's side that might be a little bit like it either might feel invalidating to you, or it might be like it might be causing you to question whether you can have that same level of, you might be even questioning this person's judgment, like you're really not questioning anything at all. Like I definitely think that for you there's a little like there's a lot of introspection and maybe some rumination even. I definitely feel like you're just wanting to take things slow, and you're also like trying to parse between what is valid and fair and what is like unresolved within me, or what is unfair. I feel like you're very consciously trying not to punish this person, for whatever you may be going through, but at the same time cannot ignore the fact that there might be things that they're saying or doing that are exacerbating the state that you're in. And so I definitely think for you, there's a focus on using that inner authority to not try to override what you're feeling and what you're experiencing, but rather using that inner authority to make more space for yourself, to give yourself more time to process, and to also realize that maybe you've given this person too much authority over how you want your life to unfold, or too much authority over your sense of self-worth. And so I definitely think there's like a rebalancing act happening with that. But one thing that I can see here is that there's a lot of desire and yearning for the other, and there's a lot of connection here. And there's definitely something like you guys have a special place in each other's hearts. And I think that for your person, they're very sure about wanting to take things further, wanting to deepen the relationship, wanting to be more serious. And I see for you that you're not so sure about that. And whether that's because whatever process led to this person realizing they wanted that could have been harmful to you, or, you know, just maybe the seriousness of the situation. Like, you know, if there's moving countries involved, or, you know, big permanent changes, I feel like you're taking that very seriously and taking your time to just weigh out, like, what is this and what do I want? Because I don't want to make a stupid decision here. You know, one difference I see with the Fool is like, you're worried about making a stupid decision. This person is excited about taking a leap of faith. I don't think that this person judges themselves the way that you judge yourself. And I definitely think that you punish yourself for emotional vulnerability in a way that I don't think this person does. I think this person is a lot more comfortable with themselves emotionally, but also that can make this person more emotionally messy, because I think that they open up, but then their feelings might change or their mind might change. And so I think that you are absolutely right to be skeptical and discerning of this person, because yes, they're so gung-ho about it and that's what they want right now, but is that something that's going to continue? I feel like your caution and patience here is probably one of the smartest things you can do. But what I would urge you against is allowing the feelings you have to make you feel guilty and then soften in a way that opens yourself up to this person more than you're comfortable with. And I think here's the thing, like, I feel like I'm not doing justice, like, the power of what does exist between the two of you. But I feel like you're not doing justice to the power of what's going on inside of you. And I think the power of a connection should not be more important than your own personal empowerment. And I feel like in this case, like, you are undergoing a process that, at least on the surface, it doesn't seem like this person is going through. And so understandably, you need time and space to process as you figure out what things mean for you, because you don't have the same level of clarity this person does, and that's okay. So I'm going to go ahead now and we're going to get guidance, because that is definitely what is needed here. But if you are interested in seeing this person's inner world more clearly, and where they're really at, we are going to be looking at that in the extended. I'm going to be channeling in first person, and then also just going into, like, you know, thoughts, feelings, desires, like everything that they're seeing about the connection in the relationship. And if there are any like red flags that I see, I will be calling them out. If there are, like, I'm going to do my best to do right by you. So, and we're also going to look at what's next for the connection, and pull some channeled message cards to get, like, confirmation and all that jazz. So if you're interested, that'll be linked down below. But if not, I'm just grateful you're here, and grateful that if you're enjoying this, that you leave me a like or a little comment or a subscribe. Anything like that is really helpful. You can let the ads play while you do something else. You can waste corporations' money while giving me a kickback. So thank you to everyone who does that. But if not, just grateful that you're here. But we're going to start with guidance for you. So what guidance do you have for my group threes? What do they need to know at this time in order to do what is best for them and their highest good? So we have the Page of Swords. Information that can help you, but which may also be difficult to hear. Speaking the truth with kindness, an indigo child or adult. So that's interesting. That's the second time, like, indigo child or indigo rainbow crystal children. Maybe there's something there for you around that. It's also quite possible too that you and this person could both just be very well-meaning but process life very differently. And so you may almost even want to look into, like, there could be some undiagnosed neurodivergence on your end or their end or both of you. And neurodivergence is like a giant umbrella. Like, there's tons of things in there, like dyslexia, autism, ADHD, like there's a lot. So like you guys could have very different neurologies, and that could partially contribute to why you guys process things the way that you do. Like, I feel like, though, this is ultimately an encouragement to be honest with yourself and to not get invested in a dream or an idea that you used to have and hold on to it even if it doesn't resonate, just because you're afraid of, like, giving up, or like, what if I wanted this person. It's like sunken cost fallacy. Like, I feel like if you're investing in something not because it's truly making you happy, but because it's what you wanted, and like you were attached to having it for so long, like, you might want to be honest with yourself and say, is this what I still want? And if not, like, is that okay? Well, I mean, it is okay, but like, can you be okay with that? And can you be okay being honest with this person? I definitely think you are being encouraged to listen to the uncomfortable emotions and listen to when you feel resentment or rage or frustration, especially when you have no reason to feel it, and especially when it comes to this person. I'll give you guys a quick little story. There's someone that I used to be friends with where we were more than friends for a little bit, and then they screwed me over. And so then I was like, well, you are never getting access to me in that way again. But we became friends, and we stayed friends. And whenever we would catch up or interact, like, I swear, like, I would just feel this incessant rage that I couldn't understand. I would just become the world's biggest hater, like, internally. Like, I'd feel angry at the sound of their voice. I would feel like they would say something nice to me, and I would just want to, like, put my boot on their neck. Like, I don't know how other way to explain it, but just, like, pure visceral rage at them, like, existing and communicating with me. And I didn't understand it, and I felt like a giant piece of shit, like, for feeling that way. And then we had an interaction where I wasn't single anymore. And this person realized that they didn't have a chance with me, or they basically what they realized was, like, I'm not available. And their whole demeanor changed, like, night and day. Like, immediately stopped connecting in conversation, immediately, like, it was like a light switch flipped, and all of a sudden, like they were out to lunch, like, whatever we'd been talking about, like, that didn't matter anymore. And I just had this huge realization of, oh my God, you've only been my friend because you've been hoping secretly that I would, that it would lead to something more. And now that you realize you don't have that shot, like, oh, so you were never my friend. And the irony is I was continuing the friendship because I was like, well, I value the friendship and I value this person. I want them to be happy, like, And I felt like I was a bad friend because I would have these feelings. And all this whole time, those feelings were saying, this person is a weasel. They're not really your friend. And that's why my body was so angry. And mind you, this person, like, my parents obsessed with them. Like my parents wanted me, like, they would be so happy if I was with this person, right? And so even that, like, you know, I'm rejecting this person because, like, I don't see them as anything more than a friend. And all this time, like my body knew, my body can smell a weasel even when my mind can't see it, all right? And I think that if you're smelling weasels, you have every right to smell that. And you have every right to listen to that without any evidence otherwise. And so all that whole story to say, trust your instincts. If you feel unnatural rage about like around a person that you can't explain, maybe it's a personal inner thing you got to work on, but it might also be the fact that maybe they're not maybe their desires in this situation are selfish, or maybe, you know, they're not considering you. Because, like, ultimately, like, what that made me realize, like, is like, oh, so for years you were not really my friend. You were just continuing to interact with me out of hopes that I would let you get in my pants at some point. Like, it's ugh. I'm so glad my body is willing to be a bitch when my mind is making excuses. So trust your body when it's telling you things. You may not be able to understand the message, but you can still listen to what the message is saying. You know what I mean? Like, if there's an emergency, you may not know what the emergency is, but if you hear an alarm, like, you're probably gonna act in accordance with what the alarm is signaling for you to do, right? So yeah, trust that. Like, and if this person if their intentions are not as pure as they seem, we're gonna look at that in the extended. If not, you're gonna have to kind of trust yourself or see how things unfold over time. But yeah, moral of the story: trust your gut. And I guess in my case, if my parents like them, then maybe it's a red flag. Ugh. Okay. What guidance is there for group 3's person? What guidance does group 3's person need to hear? We have the 5 of Cups. Trust that there is a reason for everything that happens. Remove yourself from the negative emotions of others, focusing on that which frightens or worries you. So I feel like this is why I don't use cards like this very often, because when the writing is on them, it kind of gets in the way of the message a little bit. But I do feel like for this person, I think that they have, like, they can be emotionally available when it comes to positive emotions, but I think they're pretty emotionally unavailable when it comes to challenging or difficult emotions. And I guess my advice for your person would be to share the hard stuff, because I feel like this person might really be having a hard time as well, but they're not really opening up to you about it because they might feel like, you know, if they know that you're going through a hard time, which they may not, and literally whether you told them or not, they may not, they may not realize that sharing, like, what they're going through, like, might make you feel better and feel more seen and heard. I feel like this person might be overly positive because they do not want to, like, bring any negativity or bring any bad vibes. But I feel like that's actually, like, it's almost kind of inhuman, like, the level that they're trying to stay positive. And I feel like it's because they don't want to burden you. But I feel like what they're not realizing is that in an effort to just stay so positive all the time, and in an effort to just see the good, I feel like they're not really seeing you. And they're also, like, not really showing up as their full self. And I think that there's also encouragement for this person to sit with their sadness instead of running from it, instead of, like, clearly this person, like, uses fun and excitement as a way to dull any effects, like painful emotional effects. But I'm kind of happy to see this Five of Cups show up, because it does tell me that there's more going on than meets the eye. But I think it's less accessible because they don't want to access it themselves. So yeah, I think that could be happening. And I would say, like, this person definitely, like, needs to learn to be more comfortable with disappointing others and with being disappointed. I feel like it's almost like they don't like to get too invested in situations, because if they get invested and then something bad happens, then they're left to deal with the emotional fallout of that. But the reason why that's such a risk is because they haven't learned how to cope with it or heal from it in healthy ways. They only know how to escape it or quiet it down by having something louder than the emotion. That makes concerts make sense. But let's see what guidance there is for the both of you. So what guidance, Spirit, do you have for my group threes when it comes to this relationship or connection? We have the Knight of Cups. Falling in love suddenly, being swept off your feet, the need to stay grounded during a very emotional experience. So the guidance that I would give you guys is that no matter how much denial there is, both of you do feel a deep and pure and true connection to each other. And I would not be shocked. This kind of seems to be a theme for those that are meant to come to this reading. Like, there was kind of like a spiritual element to, like, most of the relationships. And I feel like for those of you where you haven't met this person in person yet, I think, like, for you guys especially, it's great to be cautious, just because, like, you know, an online dynamic and an in-person dynamic can be two different things. And also, like, feelings can be there, love can be there, and, like, you guys can be incompatible. But I do feel like on your end, there is a little bit of guidance here around I know this is going to go against what I was telling you, but, like, actually, I don't think it is. It's okay to let love in a little bit more here if you want to. As you're going through this process where you're figuring out your feelings, I feel like even within that, I feel like this person is reaching more and, like, being more emotionally expressive with you, and maybe being more, like, flirty or just romantic. And I definitely see a lot of resistance on your end to, like, trust in it, accept it, want it, believe in it, understandably. But I feel like there's this encouragement here of, like, you can accept and receive that without deciding what it means or where you go from there. Like, I feel like you might be a little bit emotionally starved right now, and that could be part of why it's so hard for you to figure out how you feel, because it seems like the bids for connection that this person might be giving towards you, it seems like you might be in a place where you don't want to receive them, understandably, or you feel skeptical of receiving it in a way that just, like, causes you to not receive the benefit of what's being given. Like, I feel like there's emotional nourishment that could occur from just connecting more purely when you are able to look at the lighter side of things here. Like, this is definitely not saying ignore whatever problematic realities, like, need to be dealt with, but it is also saying, like, just because you're not sure of where you want to go or what this will be, doesn't mean you should push away the opportunity to flirt, connect, be romantic with this person, because that's what's gonna help you know, number one, whether there are still feelings here, number two, whether this is something you want to pursue, but also number three, like, I feel like there's guidance here as well. Like, the emotions are strong, and I think that, like, the strong emotional energy here is something that could bring clarity and emotional nourishment to you specifically. for this person, I feel like they are definitely someone who, like, I would say this person is in love with you if they haven't said that to you already. And I do think there's like kind of this twofold guidance here where for you, there's like, you're not wrong to be hesitant and skeptical of this person's position, because you are right in thinking that this could change. Like with the Knight of Cups, like the Knight of Cups loves truly and fiercely, but its focus and attention and direction can change. Like they can love truly and fiercely one thing and then fall in love truly and fiercely with another thing. And so I think there's kind of it's interesting guidance for you, because it's like, don't push away the emotional fulfillment that you could have in the moment during a time where things are already challenging. Like let yourself have that, let yourself enjoy that to the degree that you can without it like causing more pain or making you feel vulnerable in a way that makes you uncomfortable, but also stay in a rational mind around it, in the sense of, okay, yes, the feelings are here, there's no doubt about that, but what are we going to do about that? Is there a cup to hold all, like is there I feel like a cup is not big enough. Is there a pool to hold all this water? Oh, you haven't even dug the, like, I think that there's kind of this encouragement to play things by ear, kind of pay attention to this person's, like, to whether they maintain the same consistency they're showing right now. And also pay attention to how seen they make you feel. And pay attention to whether or not you're giving them opportunities to see you. So are you instigating conversations where you're saying things like, hey, you know, I'm feeling kind of unseen, or I've actually been kind of struggling, like, or are you saying everything's fine? And like, you have to be honest with this person as well. I will say as well, like, another point of guidance coming through here is that the energy between the two of you is very seductive and very like magnetic and very like, it's amazing. And so I can understand all the hesitation around falling into it. And I think that the guidance here is kind of like, enjoy it without falling. Like, you're not wrong to be skeptical, and you're not wrong to be careful, because this is definitely a good time. But if you're unsure if you want it to be a long time, or you're unsure if this person really means that they want it for a long time, like, I do think you're in the best position to both enjoy what unfolds here while protecting yourself. But also, I feel like this person, like your person, is going to, I feel like the guidance for them is to reach out more and to be more affectionate if that's what they're honestly feeling. But also understand that emotional intensity and those declarations and things like that do not override the need for accountability, the need for stability, the need for someone who is capable of handling the challenges, not just wanting to live in the fun parts of it. And I'm not saying that this person is. I think it's heavily dependent on your situation, and it's heavily dependent on like the maturity level of this person and where they're at. So I feel like there's also just a message here, like, you're not a bad person for continuing to engage in this connection when you feel uncertain about it. That's what, for a lot of you, that's what this person was doing before they decided they were sure. So if anything, it's only a natural consequence. But for others of you where, you know, this person, like, nothing has necessarily happened to give you a reason to feel this way, you're just not sure, you're allowed to still be involved in the dynamic and be unsure. Like, you're not a bad person for feeling good in a connection with another person. It can be kind of shitty if you're like doing it under false pretenses, but you're not doing it under false pretenses. So give yourself permission to enjoy the lighter aspects of this, and give yourself permission to indulge in ways that bring a little more sugar into your life, but don't get so deep into it that you lose sight of your own self-protection and the space that you need to process your truths as you work them out. So group 3, that is where I'm going to leave your reading. I'm going to move over and to the extended, where we're looking at this person's true desires, thoughts, feelings, and we're going to channel from their perspective. You already know. So if you want to meet me over there, feel free. But if you are leaving me here, which is totally fine, thank you guys so much for watching. And thank you so much for letting my ads play in the background while you do something else and put them on mute. That's a great way to support me and waste corporations' ad dollars. Or you could just get YouTube Premium and watch me all the time ad-free. You can sign up for my email list. You can check out other readings, obviously extendee. Yeah, all that stuff's linked down below, but that's all I have for you guys. So thank you so much for watching and for letting me read for you. I really hope that this reading helped and gave you some more clarity. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you are watching this video, and I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye!